Hey guys, come on in, come on in. Oh, only got one hearing aid in, but nobody's going to be talking to me, so I'm okay. How are y'all doing? I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and right at 3 o'clock, I should be shared into the group with Grace Creations and Inspired by Grace, and we're going to crackle today, y'all. I have not done anything with crackling in a while. I have wanted to. So this event has made it possible to push me, which I love, and because I like to grow and learn and do new things. So come on in, and this is the girl that we're going to work with today. Let's see if I can put her up to the back of this board. I'm going to put her on a 9 by 12 inch what's it called? Hang on. Palette board. All I needed to do was to reach for it. This is a palette sign. It's 9 by 12 inches. And we're going to put her on here. Oh, and I didn't get my... Okay. All right. I am just... How do I want to do this? I think I'm going to just have to forego that. I've got a stack of decoupage papers on top of my computer and nowhere to put them. So until I can get offline to put some things away, it looks like I'm not going to be using my computer. Y'all come on in, come on in. We are going to, I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to turn out. I have picked out some blue paints, and I'm not sure how these are going to play out. I have, all right, hang on. Let me see if I have one that's less used than this. I know I do, I just don't know where it is. So this year I want to paint more. And more and more and more. Rustic Designs with Renee. Hey Renee, how are you? Hey, Craft Cottage, your Craft Cottage. I can't remember your name. Melanie, great job. Great job, great job. I've been having a fun time watching everybody. All right, shared into the group. So we are live and in where we need to be. Grace Creations and Inspired by Grace are hosting this event, and they are we're Christian, a group of Christian women and sisterhood, and anyway, a lot of talented. Hey Giselle, come on in. Okay, your Craft Cottage, Giselle. I recognize your face when you say Giselle, but I just can't seem to. There's so many craft this and craft that and everybody's names, and I'm a numbers person. I'm not a word person. And so I try real hard to remember everybody's name, so I apologize. If I don't, I will do better. All right, Jody, come on in. Hey, Carol, hello. Hello, Jody. Hello, Carol. Oh, so your Craft Cottage. So, all right, hold on a minute. Let me back up here. So your Craft Cottage is Giselle. Is that correct? Hey, Debbie, come on in. I'm shared into the groups. All right, your Craft Cottage. I'll have to, you know what? I need to, y'all would not know that I used to teach school, and by the second day of school, I could remember, hey, Sherry, I could remember all the kids' names. I had 150 students. And but I forgot them as fast as I learned them, so there's no big accomplishment. And all right, hang on. I gotta mute my. Hold on. I have got to. Do not disturb. I got a gazillion different messages coming in. All right, so I am pretty excited. Don't know how this is going to turn out, but for whatever reason, this is the little girl is what came to mind. And every time I tried to change, I thought about doing a lion. We're going to crackle today, y'all. The theme today is crackle. And you know, Melanie is so funny because I was thinking crack-a-lack-on too when you said that. I thought, oh, I was going to say that, but I'm still going to say it because for whatever reason it just works. So this is a 9 by 12 inch decoupage paper. I'm trying to see. It's from Decoupaged Queen. I got it a couple of years ago. It's called Sweet and Sassy Innocence. And if anybody is interested, let's see if I can find a number. DQRP _ 0189 if anybody's interested in this. But so this is what we're going to do today. We're going to put her on here. I don't have to paint this because it's already white. Although typically, you know what, before I say that, let me just, at a minimum, I need to wipe this down because a lot of times there's like dust on this from where they have sanded it. And I always tell y'all to wipe, to even if it's white, to paint it, because if you mess up, you need the right color paint on there. But you know what? I'm going to live dangerously today. We'll see what happens. I may regret it, but we will see. I know that the majority of this is going to be covered up, so I'm not really that worried about it. So let me get in here, and I'm going to crease this, and then I'm going to cut this, and we'll have to put like some kind of trim, maybe some pearls or something up there. And let's get her going, y'all. Let's see what's going to happen. I am going to be using my favorite crackle medium, and that is from Pent Art Fine Line Crackling. It's a 2-part crackle. I'm looking for my water pen so that, there it is. Because what I want to do is I'm going to cut this. I'm going to go ahead and water this off of here. And let me make sure this is straight before I do anything else. See if I can get a good straight line on here. Probably don't want to take the This is, you know how some decoupage papers are kind of stiff? I don't know if this is true rice paper or if this is mulberry paper or what, but I like this decoupage paper the best. All right, here we go, y'all. I'm going to just squeeze this out of here. And most of you know the drill with this because you are seasoned crafters. This was kind of like all new to me when I first started. The decoupage I did was back in the 80s. I remember making taking my, all right, let's see. That's gonna be good. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna do the other side. I took a wedding invitation that from a friend of mine who got married. And that was back when you put layers of, I think it was called what was it called? It was like a gloss, and you did layers and layers and layers. And does anybody remember doing that? Can't remember the name of it. All right, I'm going to hang on to this. Just I don't need the top, but I'm going to need the bottom. If anybody asks me again for, all right, this is going to be good. And I think I want this just a little bit more off of here. I really want it off the bottom, but I don't want to take the name off. So how's everybody doing today? Hey, Debbie. Hey, let's see here what we got. Hey, Lisa. Good to see you. How are you doing? How is your back doing? I haven't... Raven, good to see you. She is with Craftifornia Dreamin', and if my notes serve me right, no, she's coming up. She's going to, Raven is going to be the caboose. She's going to be the end of the bookend today. She's going to be at 9 o'clock. You're going to want to hang tight and stay till the end to see her. So, if you want crackling ideas, this is the event that you want to watch, because there's multiple different ways that people are crackling, and there are multiple different kinds of projects that everybody is using. So I highly recommend that if you have wanted to crackle, that if you missed any of the creators that are creating today, I'm just trying to take just a hint more off of this so that it'll lay flat. If crackling has been on your bucket list, you'll want to go to Grace Creations or Inspired by Grace, their sister groups, and watch the replays of what everybody is doing. Okay, this is a lot better. A lot better. I still got just a hint that needs to come off of here, so let me grab just a little bit of this. This isn't a piece that, oh, I got to do the sides too, y'all. What am I thinking? I forgot all about it. I got to do the sides. That could have been a big mistake. Could have left that on there. All right, this is where I want it. All right, so now let me go ahead and I'm going to do the sides. The crackling that I'm going to use today was completely new to me about 2 years ago, I think. I think I saw someone working with it a couple of years ago. And I thought, well, I want to try that. I want to try that kind of person. I like doing new things and learning new things. So I'm always outside, well, not always outside my comfort zone, because sometimes I try and perfect, which what does that mean, right? Perfection. But I try and get better from whatever method I'm using at the time. Mississippi Gulf Coast, welcome. Mississippi's in the house. I have a friend who lives in Mississippi, dear friend. We used to go to the same church up here in Virginia, and then her husband retired from the Navy. Oh, am I out of water here? I have to fill it back up. And they moved back to their hometown in Mississippi, and they come up to the Outer Banks every Thanksgiving, Outer Banks, North Carolina. And anyway, we drive an hour and a half to go visit them. But this year, things were different with my family, my husband's family. All right, I'm going to see why this isn't working, y'all. I know I have a second one in here somewhere. I want to take this off. Come on. There it goes. Whoa, hello. Anyway, so welcome, Mississippi. Where else are y'all from? So, Raven, are you actually in California? And if so, that's a huge state. What part of the state are you in? North, south, central? Beautiful state. Our older son is out in California, and a couple years ago, I went out there to visit him, and that was the third time that I had been to California, and God has just really given me a love for the people in California. You know how sometimes God can just drop things on, you know, just all of a sudden you just love somebody. That's happened to me several times. And when I went to Uganda the second time, all right, this is looking good, y'all. I think we're good. I'm thinking I may want to do some kind of, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking I want to put some kind of paint up here because that's, we're going to crackle that. We're going to crackle this beautiful little girl here. All right, so let's get her on here. But when I went to Uganda back in 2017, was it 2017? I went 2013, and then I went back 2017. He's in LA. And he's a lighting specialist. Everything that has to do with lighting, he can do it. Got an awesome God story with that. He, when he was 12, oh, don't do this to me. I opened this right before, there it goes. I was going to say, I opened this right before I came online because I thought I'm not going to wrestle with the jar lid today. All right, what I'm using for a, adhesive, decoupage medium, is Posh Chalk's pigment infuser. You can take a picture of that and then put it in the, look at it in the mirror. It's called Posh Chalk Pigment Infuser. I like the smell of this. It doesn't have like a real strong chemical smell. It's a real light smell. All right, here we go, y'all. This is already white. How we doing on time? Oh my goodness, it is 15 after. Looks like I need to glue this puppy back together. All right, here we go. I'm gonna just put this, drag this on here. Anyway, when he was 12, he was part of a group that did singing and choreography and shared the gospel. And anyway, he has always been a behind the scenes. This is our older son. He's always been a behind the scenes person. Doesn't like the limelight. Doesn't need to be seen in the front. You know, he was always, you know, oops, didn't want that on there. Oh well, I guess we're gonna do this all over. Anyway, he didn't want to be in the foreground of everything, and he wanted to do lighting. Actually, I think he was 13. And the gal who headed up the group, she was a stage manager for Christian Broadcasting Network, and very, very talented person, and lover. Okay, putting this on here, making sure. All right, it's a little bit, I gotta bring it up some. It's not a one and done, but it's pretty close to a one and done, so you kind of want to get this on here the way you want it. Let's see what we got. All right, that looks like it's gonna work. All right, let me lift this up, because I don't want to get any bubbles or anything in this. And I'm going to just bring this down. So anyway, my friend Cindy, she, all right, this is good. This is looking good. Looks like we got it. I may have to take a bag and kind of run over this. I've got a plastic bag in here somewhere. But, so she told him, she said, she didn't know anything about lighting. All right, I know I got some plastic bags in here somewhere, y'all. I'll use this one. I'll just take these buttons out of here. This is the best I got right now. I got like a whole bag of bags somewhere. Anyway, she didn't know anything about lighting, and she said, here are the lights. She got the lights for him. She said, here are the lights. Do what you want with them. This is the best I got, y'all. And he taught himself how to work the lights for a stage production. I think he may have been 13 at the time. And he has always been able to just learn on his own. And sometimes he hasn't liked it because it was a little bit more than he could chew, bite off more than he could chew. All right, here we go. All right, so this is what we have. She's in there now. And, but anyway, I'm going to put that in the water for right now. I'm going to dry this, and I think then we are going to crackle her. Let's dry her. I hope she turns out. But anyway, so he taught himself how to work with lights, and then he worked there. God brought an opportunity around. I know, don't you love this, Melanie? I love it too. She just kept coming to mind, coming to mind, coming to mind. I feel like there's somebody who I'm doing this for, but I don't know who it is. So if it's you, let me know. All right, so this is what I'm doing. I'll get back to my story in a minute, but this is what I'm doing for 2026, y'all. Okay, this is what God has led us. This is how He has led me to go. I don't know if it's going to be all of 2026. Hey, Roger, come on in. But I know it's for right now. So everything that I make, and I need to make sure that I say this on every time, anything that I make right now in 2026 or until God tells me differently, I am giving it away. All you have to pay for is shipping. I don't know how much shipping will be. It will depend upon where you live. So if anything that I make that you like, that you want, and you want to pay for shipping, whoever contacts me first, and if that doesn't work out, then whoever contacts me, the next person behind them, I'm giving all my projects away. So this is what we're starting with this girl here. So that's so anyway, he got in the he got the lights and figured out how to work them, and then he went on. God provided a television show that he was made. It was called Teen News Now, and kids went out and interviewed people and came back and went on air. And thanks, Roger. And all right, so the question is, I think I need to paint first. And so now I'm going to have to play with some colors, because what I want to do is I want to take this blue and some lighter blue and some yellow, and I think I want to put that up top. I think that's what I want to do. So let's see where we're going to go with this. So let me get my palette out. So when he was 16, he learned how to edit professionally, and he worked with more lights, and he actually worked with someone who was a producer. This man was a producer for CBN, and he did that for a couple of years, and he learned so much that, all right, I want to get a small brush is what I'm looking for, because I need to mix some paint, because I'm not sure what color. Ooh, that's kind of dark. I'm thinking that these two kind of need to be mixed together. We will see. So I'm going to just take a little bit of this and see. That's too dark. I'm just trying to see if I can kind of mimic the color blue. That's a little dark. All right, what else do I need? Maybe throw a little bit of, I'm not sure, y'all. Usually I can get it pretty close, but I'm not liking this yet. that could be. All right, let me add a hint. Let me add a hint of white to this and see where this goes. I need to get some more white, y'all. All right, I'm going to just put just a hint. But anyway, so he did this Teen News Now show for a couple of years, and then he went to Regent. All right, that's getting there. Y'all, look at that. Can you see these two? Can you see them? It's getting pretty close. I needed to add a little bit of white to it. And then once I get the color that I want, I'm going to take and mix. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to mix them together so that I have plenty of this. So when he went to Regent University, he studied cinematography and got awards and stuff like that. And but lighting has always been his thing. And then he drove across country, drove to the West Coast, and with all that would fit in his red Jeep at the time. And he had the right connections at the right time. God had just kind of lined everything up. Okay, this is looking pretty good, y'all. I'm liking this. Looks like I'm going to be able to do this. All right, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come back, and I want to get some yellow, a little bit of yellow in here. I think I'm going to leave the sides of this white. Let's see, I always forget. Hey, Lindell. All right, let's see here if I'm missing any comments. Lenora, that's a pretty name. Was it the movie? All right, I'm going to make more of this because I don't want to run out. So I'm going to put a little bit more in here. How about that, y'all? I'm getting better with these colors. I am loving being able to mix paint together. All right, just making sure that I've got the right color. It's looking pretty good. I might need another swig of white. Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. Lenora, have you ever heard of that movie? I think that the gal who, it's a documentary about a gal who, what's it called? Jumped horses. She'd go, like, this was like back in probably the 20s or 30s. And she would go up this ramp, and then diving horses, and then the horse would go off. I mean, they would go up like high, and then the horse would, and her on the horse would dive into this big old like pool, and it was a thing. And all right, I'm gonna put a little bit more white in here. I gotta hurry up because this crackling stuff takes a little bit of time. But I want to say that her name is Lenora. I want to put more white in this, y'all. It's a little bit darker than I want it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sponge. All right, this is getting better. I think I need more white. Whoops. So what I do, I'm new to paint. I'm not new to color. I have always like been able to coordinate color with my clothes and other things. All right, this is looking better. This is getting there. I want a little bit more white. But it's only been the last 2 or 3 years that I have really learned how to work with literally mixing paint, and I am loving it. All right, this is looking, I don't know if y'all can see this or not. Can y'all see? This is looking pretty on point. So like if you have a like blue and you want it to be like a deeper blue, like more navy, you can add black to it, or you can add its complement. All right, this is looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I want to leave some white in this. All right, let me get, I want to work with some yellow also. So let's mix both of these up at the same time. Let me bring this over. I want the lighter one. All right, let's use the lighter one here. Oops, I need to shake this because I want this to be just a faint amount in here. So we're going to match this to the, all right, let me get another brush, one that's not going to drink up a whole lot of the paint. All right, let's just go with, let's go with the palette knife. That won't drink it up. All right, this is looking good. And now I need to add some white to this, because these are almost like a, not quite a pastel, but kind of like a pastel. So I'm gonna put some white in this. Make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. All right, this is looking good, looking good. And this is one way that I like to extend a border is with my sponge. All right, that's looking pretty good. I want just a little bit more white, y'all. And then we're gonna get my sponge. Whoops, or a lot. All right, this is good. Good, good, good. All right, I like this. These are the two colors that are in this, and what I'm gonna do is I am going to extend this palette or this paper. All right, let me wipe that off. How are we doing on time? Ooh, 3:30. All right, I got 30 minutes. All right, so here we go. So I am going to take a sponge and I'm going to go with the, I think I'm going to do the dark first. I've already dipped this in my water and made it so that it's soft. See how it's nice and soft? So I'm gonna go in here. Looks like I'm gonna have way more than I need of this blue, but that's okay. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is like almost identical. All right, I'm not gonna need near this much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take, and I'm gonna do like a marbling effect. I'll show you what I have. See what I have here? So y'all can see that. Boy, I don't need near this much paint. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do the same thing down at the bottom. And by the sponge being wet, it just works so much better. I'm trying to decide if I want to do, all right, hold on a minute. Because I have some pearls here that I think I want to work with. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put these. All right, let's see what that looks like. I think that's going to be too busy. I think I'm going to leave the sides plain, y'all. All right, so now I'm going to dry this because I don't want it real heavy with the blue. Working with a sponge is so easy. It just makes life so, I don't know, it just makes it so much easier for me. Y'all, these blues are like almost identical. I love it when a plan comes together. Did anybody watch Mission Impossible when they were growing up? That was a family show that we would watch. But anyway, Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. If you ever get a chance to watch that movie, it is an amazing story. I won't tell you the punchline or the, what's it called? Spoiler alert or anything. We can always add more if we want, but we can't, we can always paint over it too if we have to. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do this without making a mess. And I am going to just put this sponge in here so that, oops, y'all can't see me, so that y'all can see me. And I'm just going to squeeze the paint out of this. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to squeeze the water out of it. I'm trying not to get the water on my project. So let me put this out of the way. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and I'm just going to squeeze this to get the excess water out of this. Looks like I got some yellow in here. But that's going to be okay. All right. I just don't want it to be dripping. I just want it to be damp. So you can see how I've got just a little bit of water in there. All right, so now we're going to come in here with the yellow. And I'm just putting a little teeny tiny bit on there. It does not take much. And the idea is I'm after a marbling effect. And so I want to make sure that I leave some of the white in the background. All right, so here we go. Again, I'm just going to just dab that. I could almost, it looks like I can use a little bit more blue, but we'll see. The yellow is really, really faint, but it matches what is, wow. I don't know if I want to do more blue or not, y'all, because this is like, I'm going to do a little bit more yellow. I want to be careful not to hit the paper. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Let me get tape. I think I want tape. I'm hoping this is, I want something that's not going to stick. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use this because this is like a really light masking. This is going to be perfect. Because I want to get the inside of that. Okay, so all I'm doing is taping that off. And now I'm going to come in here. And I'm going to rinse my sponge out again. And I'm going to go back with the blue. And I want to do the inside and the bottom. I'll show y'all. I haven't even got to the crackling yet. Ooh. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to come in here with the blue again. I'm going to use the same side of the sponge so that I get kind of the same pattern. And I'm going to come in here. Hopefully, there we go. And then I'm going to come across here and I want to get all of this so that this whole area here. And I'm going to do just a little bit more blue, just a hint, okay? And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do the same thing to the inside here. Now, you could have painted this first, but I didn't really know what I was going to do, so I have a tendency to do my projects a little bit at a time. Okay. That looks good. All right, let me get I better get the edges here. I'm going to get the edges here. And then we're going to come over here. Come around and get that. Okay, and then we're going to dry it. Let me rinse my sponge again. Wow. And then I'll come back and I'll put some yellow. I don't think you're going to be able to see the crackling. I was planning on crackling that up there, but I don't think you're going to be able to see it. All right. Looks like I needed just a hint All right, I'm gonna do the back side of this sponge so that I can get this right here. Let's dry it, and then we'll do some yellow. I think I'm going to leave the sides white and put some pearls there. All right. So let's go with the yellow. We're going to put the yellow on top here. And I'm going to offload this. And I'm going to come in here. I'll leave my tape on here. And we're going to get some yellow on here also. And then I'm going to come down here and get yellow on the bottom, the sides. And I'm going to turn it around. Oh, looks like I missed a spot. So my mother-in-law is in an assisted living home now. She's 95. And for Christmas, we went, and the Holy Spirit had me pack up enough. All right, this is looking good. He had me pack up enough projects that I have made at the house to give all the residents and the staff some. So that was where the idea came from, for me to just give away whatever I make at the price of shipping. So if any of my projects speak to you and you feel like the Lord is speaking to you through me, then this is for you. I have no idea who I'm making it for. It may end up being someone in the assisted living home. All right, so let me check this. All right, it's looking good. All right, and then we're going to just lift this up. So just message me if, sometimes we go through hard times and people do things and they really just speak to our lives. All right, so now the next thing I'm going to do, what time do we have? 3:41. We got to get cracking, y'all. So let's do it. I think it's this one. This is the Fine Line Crackle. This is my favorite. Crackling. Come on. It's 2 parts. A part 1 and a part 2. And we're going to put, I'm going to crackle this, and then I'm going to put like a gold wax over top of this. This is going to be really different from what you're probably accustomed to seeing with glue. But this smells like Elmer's glue, but it doesn't work like Elmer's glue, so I'm not quite sure. All right, here we go, y'all. I'm not quite sure what this is made out of, but I love the way how this turns out. It's my favorite. Oops. I'm wondering if I should have sealed this first, because I have sealed it in the past. It is thick. And just keep going over this until it's completely covered. The second part, to me, smells like honey. It doesn't have a chemical taste to it either. I probably should have one hand with the dryer on and one hand painting this on here. Because it takes a while for this to do its thing. All right, y'all, here we go. Trying to just smooth this out. It's not quite too thick. All right, I'm gonna put that in here. This is part one. And now we're gonna dry it, and we've got to dry it until this is oh, I do too. I tell you, I'm gonna use E6000, and I can't stand the smell of that. I'm gonna use it up, but I'm trying to find something else that I know. I love honey too. It's not, doesn't taste exactly, smell exactly like. Thanks. I did this with Chalk Couture. I put the bee and blessed. And then Beyond Your Measure, Blessed Beyond Your Measure. There was a couple of different stencils that I mixed together to make it. I love Chalk Couture's ink, and because I've had this shirt quite a while and it's not faded or anything. All right, let me see. That's up on high. We got to get this dry, and then we'll put the second coat on here. So this has got some gray in it also. I didn't think about the fact that this is going to be white on white, and it might be hard to see when it's dry. It takes several minutes for it to dry. You can do this, like let it dry overnight, but I have found that there is an element to the heat that makes this crack more. If you just let it dry overnight and then put the second layer on and then dry it again, let it dry on its own, it doesn't crack as much as if you put heat to it. And I don't know why, I just know that that's what happens. The more heat I put on it, the more it cracks. So I can kind of control how much, if it cracks a lot, or if it's really, really fine, or I have a little bit of control over how it cracks. I have the classic that's in this two-part with Pentart. I'm not as fond of the classic as I am the fine line. The fine line is my favorite. All right, this is looking pretty good, y'all. All right, let's go over this with the honey, the fine line number 2. I don't think I like this brush as much as I like. Let me try this one. This one's got more of a synthetic. And you just take and put this over the second coat. I've got a little boy at the beach that's similar to this that is really cute. Yeah, I like this brush better. It's spreading a little bit nicer than that other brush was. Obviously, the thinner you do this, the quicker it's going to dry. And I have not figured out if it's better to have it thick or thin. Being a former math teacher, I recognize a lot of patterns. And I haven't figured the pattern out for this because I haven't done it enough times to repeat what I need. Okay. All right, here we go, y'all. We're going to dry it again. And then the fun part is when you get to put the wax on it. So it's 2 parts. This is part 2. And this is the white part. That's part 1. And they have numbers on it, so you don't have to remember which one is which. All right, here we go. How we doing on time? Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not going to get to decorate her. And you'll be able to see the cracks. Hi Rona, how are you? Thanks, that helps. I'll have to go back. I think I need to keep a list of, it's a good day to relax. Our temperatures were really nice last week. They were down to, they were up to 70 last week. And then yesterday it started at like 60 something, and then it dropped down to the 30s. Hey, Wreck-It Ralph, how are you? I enjoy listening to you and watching you and hearing what the Lord is doing through you. I always enjoy hearing people's God stories. Those are my favorite stories to tell, is how God is moving. I'm just kind of turning this to see if I'm making any headway yet. And it's really, really glossy. I think what I want to do is I might take and put some gold in, or maybe some black. Maybe I'll put some black in there. I'll probably have to do that offline, y'all. Okay, it looks like it's dry. Now it just has to start cracking. Crackle-lackling. I wanted a subtle crack with this. I didn't want anything real heavy. So you're not going to see the same. I'm going to put gold in the background here. But you're not going to see the heavy division like you see when you work with glue. That's why it's called fine line crackle. I'm not seeing it crack yet, but it will. All of a sudden, it'll just kind of burst out, and then it'll keep moving. I haven't gotten there yet, though. Hey, how are you?
Good. Can I use the washing machine?
I can't hear you. I only have one hearing aid in. You'll have to write it, honey. I can't understand what you're trying to tell me. Don't send me a text. Okay. I was fine not being able to hear until my son got home. I only have one hearing aid in, and it makes a difference. How are we doing on time? 54. Yes. All right, it's starting to crack. And y'all aren't going to see it until I put the gold on there, but I'll try and show it to you. Bubbling. I mean, it's almost got like a glass layer over top of this. How are we doing on time? I got 6 minutes. It's coming. Oh, I want y'all to be able to see this. Okay, that's cracking there. Once I'm able to get the wax on it, you'll be able to see it pretty easily, I hope. All right, let me grab my wax, and this is where the fun part is. I've got some Pent Art wax, and this is antique paste. This is the gold I want. This is the gold we're going to use. All right, and what I'm going to do, I like to take like a stiff brush, this one here, kind of like just a cheap stiff brush, and go in here, and I'm going to paper towel, and I'm going to just go over this, and then I'm going to wipe this off. And I'm going to need something darker than that. That's not dark enough. All right, hold on. Let's try this one. Let's see what this one does. This is Prima redesigned by Prima or something. Let's try to see what this gold does. That's a little bit darker. All right, this is better. Yeah, this is better. All right, I'm going to show y'all what I have here. And then I'm going to go all the way to the edges. All right. Let's see here. Oh, there you go. Can you see the cracks in there? Right up here. You can see that what happens is the gold gilding wax goes in those cracks, and then it highlights it. How are we doing on time? Two minutes. I can probably get this done in 2 minutes. And I'm just going to go over the entire piece. And like I said, I just use a stiff, cheap brush to do this with. And then you just kind of, you put it on here, wax on, wax off. All right, let me show you again. Let's see if you can see. Can you see? There you go. You can see the cracks along the side here. And anyway, I've got 2 minutes. I'm going to real quickly show you some of the things that I want to put on her. And I'll have to finish this offline. Go over this. You could put a dark wax on here. I mean, you could do anything that you want. All right, here we go. We're going to wipe this off. And then I want to show you. I'll go back over this while I'm offline. And you can see. Oh, no. Oh, you don't believe. I don't believe I just did that, y'all. How can I do this over and over and over again? I stuck it in the paint and just ruined it. Oh, well. It's the day for ruining things for me. Oh, my goodness. Look what I did. I've got my paint. I put this on here. I got to learn not to do that, y'all. I have no idea how to fix this. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and this will not be wasted. I'll figure out what to do with it and move forward and take a picture for y'all. All right, go and refresh the page and see who is next. I'm like flustered now. Lori with Nana's Nook is next. So y'all refresh the page, and thank you to Grace Creations and Inspired by Grace. And I know it was beautiful. It's not anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do. So we'll see what happens. All right. Love y'all. And I hope y'all have a great night. Go check out Nana's Nook. Bye-bye.